Bonjour and welcome back to Flat in Fifth. We are now on, quite incredibly, on episode 3. Who would have thought it? They said you'd never make it. Well, here it is.
We did.
We'll crack straight on because we've got quite a lot to cover. I am joined once again by Sir Maximus Weatherly and Sir Henry Smith.
Good afternoon or evening or morning.
Evening or whatever time it is you're watching it. Thank you very much for joining us again. We'll crack straight on. We have had an angry comment.
No.
Yeah. We've offended some people from episode 2. If you haven't watched it, please do. But yeah, angry comments from someone, from literally some people or one person. Hen, who was it?
Indeed, yes. So I think someone took maybe some umbrage to my comments about the E-Type last week. And we did say, comment in the comments and we will ignore you. I decided for once, I think I'll actually read it out. So we've got the comment here. It's from someone with the username PT Cruiser Fan 904. Oh, well, I mean, you've weakened your own position there a little bit, if I'm honest. If you're a fan of PT Cruisers, your comment's going to be as useful as a carpet fitter's ladder, basically. So I'm not reading it.
Brilliant. Right,
Next.
well, moving on. Straight on to news. Very big news. The car of the year 2024 has been announced.
What the fuck is that?
On all the magazines, and looking at the picture, nothing interesting.
There's absolutely nothing interesting.
Nothing interesting whatsoever.
Seems to be a different version of Whirlpools and Bosch dishwashers there.
Other news: Dodge have announced the new Charger is going to be going to be a straight 6 hybrid.
Wrong.
Next,
Did you say hybrid?
Yeah, straight 6.
Yep,
it's wrong. Autocar asks in the news this week: will anyone beat Max Verstappen?
No.
Moving on. Dacia have announced no electric version of the Sandero until it becomes an issue.
Correct.
Spot on.
Our sound engineer approves as well.
Yeah. Great.
Harry approves, our sound engineer over here.
Our sound engineer does actually have a Dacia Sandero. Do you want it to be electric?
Correctly.
No, because the more time we spend investing in electric cars, the less time we spend investing in people just using the bloody bus.
Correct.
Right?
He's been hanging around with us far too much.
We were starting to rub off.
One of us.
And not in a sexual way.
One of us.
Well, some may say.
Darling. Right, okay. Big news. At the time of filming this, whenever this gets released, but at the time of filming, we've just witnessed greatness from a young man from Chelmsford and Essex, Ollie Bearman. Wow. I mean, can you imagine the pressure that guy was under? Can you imagine to get the call? You're in the car tomorrow, mate.
Get on with it.
At Saudi Arabia at the Jeddah circuit, which is fearsome.
Yeah.
And you're in a Ferrari.
Yeah.
You've got practice 3. Now some quali laps, please, if you don't mind, sir. And don't crash it.
And also, the car's set up for someone who's much, much smaller than you as well.
Yeah, he's quite tall, actually, Ollie. Yeah.
I've heard that they've got one of those push bar levers on the bottom of the seat. So
That's Ferrari, you pay extra.
Oh, come on.
I mean, regardless of jokes aside, he actually did brilliantly. I'm sure yourself watching at home would agree, if you are a Formula One fan. It's quite amazing that actually Henry agreed to discuss this topic on the news because, of course, he's not interested in Formula One.
No.
But even captured Henry's attention. That's the brilliance of Ollie's drive at the weekend. And notably finishing ahead of the GOAT.
Well, don't say that word.
Some say. But, fair play to Ollie there. Absolutely superb. Any comments, Max, on Ollie over the weekend?
He did incredibly well. He did beat Lando. He did a very good job of holding that extra bit of fire that we all love, especially from a Ferrari driver. You want someone who's a little bit, and he wasn't whingy, he didn't moan, he didn't complain. His one comment at the end was, I wish we could have gone a little bit longer on the softs. And I could have been able to overtake a few more people. That is a guy who's on form. He's a guy on fire.
What an absolute
and that's
rock
why
star.
he beat Lando. That's why he beat Lewis.
Yeah.
That's why he walked away with more points than a lot of people on that grid, putting Pierre Gasly in 21st.
Yeah.
I think that's a big thing.
Pierre Gasly is 21st currently
Pierre.
out of a
We do
20-car
like you.
grid.
Yeah.
And he's a
Hold on.
regular driver as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, he's also in a donkey of a, no offence to Timothy over here,
Just
Alpine.
imagine getting
No,
that call, though.
because that's the great thing about the Alpine
great.
road car. It's
We
so
like
good.
that.
I think Pierre Gasly should just go round in the A110R and
Yeah,
probably
imagine the rules
be
you could
quicker.
break. Yeah.
Well, anyway,
Just imagine getting that call, though. It must be like if you've played whatever that space game is that you play. I
Yeah.
can't remember what it's called. That
Starfield.
yeah. That's like having, 5 or 6 hours playing Starfield, and on the back of that, NASA call you up and say, yeah, do you want to go to the
You want
moon?
to be an astronaut.
Because you played a game for
To
a
be
little
fair, he
bit.
did put it on pole in Formula 2.
He did,
that
but-
weekend.
and he is a Ferrari
That's a
Academy.
great stat, by the way.
Ferrari
Do you know
Academy
this,
driver.
he's broken a stat that I don't think anyone else will be able to break. So in Formula 2, if you put it on pole, you get a point for your championship. He then also scored 4 points in the Formula 1 championship. Well, that's the only person ever to score Formula 2 championship points and Formula 1 championship points in the same weekend.
I know, it's
That is
amazing.
an amazing stat for
He's such a
forever,
rock
'cause
star.
No one is ever going to be able to do that.
No.
My favourite thing for the weekend, and because he's such a legend, he didn't even make a point of mentioning it, and it was only
it was mega.
the F1 social media team who were just clasping for any kind of content as they usually do, and they picked out you saw the shot of it at the end of the race, his headrest on the side, on the left hand side was effectively
Dented to
crumpled.
fucked.
Yeah.
like a crash zone kind of thing, which shows the G-force that his neck has been going around.
I thought it was
Had
quite
that been any
strategic
other
as well.
driver on the grid, have we heard about it on the radio? Like, my headrest is grown, it's not very
It's
my
high G
neck's hurt.
fuck.
And
Quick corner track. as well.
yeah.
Now,
Like
I
fifth
don't
gear,
know
most of it.
whether Ollie goes to university or college or anything like that. He's still a young lad. He's 18 years old. for God's sake.
18,
He's
yeah.
a baby. Yeah.
But if he does go to college or uni or whatever, that's going to be a big flex on the Monday morning, isn't it? Like, what did you get up to at the weekend? Oh, went out on Razzle, got smashed, pulled a bird. What did you do, Ollie? I beat Lewis Hamilton round Jeddah.
Yeah.
Top that.
It's pretty hard to top that, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is. Did you see the school introducing him?
Oh yeah, there is a video of the school introducing Ollie Behrman, except it's not Ollie Behrman.
Yeah.
It's not, but everyone thinks it is.
Yeah. Brilliant. The power,
Yeah.
the
Moving
power
on.
of the internet. Moving on. Next news. And it's bad news.
I don't like bad news. What have we got?
The Bugatti Chiron, one of the greatest pieces of modern engineering, it's dead.
It's died.
dear.
Well, no. Technically, the
Did it hit a tree?
W16 is dead. They're not going to do a W16 Chiron
Yeah.
anymore. They're going to do a new car.
What, new chassis, the lot?
I don't know. I think it's just maybe the new Chiron or the new variant of a
New
Chiron.
model.
And it's going to be a hybrid.
Oh, no.
But it's okay, guys. It's going to be a V16. A V16 hybrid.
Well, it's like what I was always thought about the practicality of running an electric car through little town bits,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
look,
Fire up the V16.
national speed limit. Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Wham.
What a brilliant approach to hybriding.
V16 and a hybrid.
Yeah.
That's
It's an odd combo.
There's like two things you wouldn't really put together, aren't they? It's much like saying, I'm going to go snowboarding, but also learn how to play the glockenspiel at the same time.
Exactly, it's about as useful. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what they do. It'd be interesting to see how they actually. I have a feeling they will be using the hybrid for extra power somehow, and not for saving the planet.
Bugatti have released a short clip of the sound of the engine, and
No.
we'll put it in post, obviously, as per usual. I have listened to it, and I can tell you from listening to it with good headphones on, it sounds better than James Corden being slowly lowered into a volcano.
Can we put that in post as well?
I know.
Can we make that happen?
or
Can,
something.
can we put James Corden into a blender? That would sound quite good, wouldn't it?
Or a wood chipper.
Hey,
Yeah.
this is our first person of the week we've upset.
Yeah.
But I mean, you know,
First of many.
Just very, very briefly, it's very interesting because that's going to make it the first production V16 engine since the Chisetta
No.
Marauder
The
V16,
Chisetta, yeah.
Really? Wow,
which has got
That's cool.
2 sets of pop-up headlights. So that means it's literally
Oh, the backup plan.
twice as cool as a Diablo.
Yeah. I'd go with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just twice as cool as anything. You know, double the pop-up headlights, double the fun.
But
Double the reliability when the first set go wrong.
Yeah.
the sheer speed that thing's going to have, a V16 and a hybrid, is like, at no point of Bugatti probably thought, you know what, our cars are really notorious for being slow and underpowered. Let's attach an electric motor to a 16-cylinder engine to see what happens. But anyway, moving on.
Yeah, moving on, gentlemen, and I'd like to bring forth my absolute favourite piece of news, not just recently, but perhaps of the year so far.
Dun, dun, dun.
So, as we know, or maybe you do know or you don't know, so Renault are rebooting the Renault 5 hatchback. Not only does it look brilliant,
It does look
a
fantastic.
fantastic bit of design, but it comes with the best optional extra from factory I think I have ever seen in my entire life, and it is a baguette holder.
Yep. The French have answered a question literally nobody has asked.
I've asked that question. Where do I put it when I want
I love
my
it.
spag
I love
bowl
the
or
fact. I
ravioli?
love the fact that someone amongst all of the many meetings at Renault HQ has actually had the bravery to go, yes, but let's give it a baguette holder. That'll be hilarious. And they have, and they actually have put it through to production. It is an optional extra.
Yeah.
And it just shows me that someone somewhere in the car industry has still got a sense of humour.
Basically, the French they've gotten back to their old ways. They're sniffing paint and designing cars again.
Yeah.
Which is absolutely fantastic. We're so happy about that. But there's one slight problem, though, isn't there, Tim?
Not enough baguettes.
No, I'm thinking more about the powertrain.
Oh, well, yeah, they've absolutely missed a trick there because they've managed to make potentially one of the most desirable hatches available going forward that the masses would buy, and they've made it electric.
Ow, come on. That's electric. There's electric in there.
Yes, which is wrong.
Yeah. I don't know about you chaps, but having seen the Renault 5 and what it looks like, and knowing what Renault are capable of doing when they say, I don't know, apply like a turbo, why have they not done a Renault 5 petrol? Doesn't have to be massive, could be like a 3-cylinder
We'll take
engine,
that, we'll
but
take
with a turbo, a peppy little turbo car that you can rev the nuts off and put turbo decals down the side of it, give it some retro paint.
I
They'd
reckon
sell
that
them
will
by
catch
the
on.
bucket load. I'd have one. Would you have one?
When can I order one?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm ready. Please, Renault, give us petrol heads something to.
I'd have it in
loads of
azure
fun in.
blue with white wheels.
Correct.
Yeah.
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 I mean, white with white
Absolutely
wheels.
missed a trick there, Renault. Please do a petrol version, for God's sake.
Have you seen the gear shifter in it as well? It's the same shape as a lipstick case.
Yeah.
Because
That's okay.
yeah, why not?
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah, so Renault, if you're listening, lovely piece of design. Do a petrol version, and we'll all buy one.
Yep.
Okay. Moving on then, WRC, the WRC, are ditching the hybrid. I'm going to pass it over to you, gentlemen, now.
Yeah, Max, you're the most qualified being the rally driver amongst us three.
Finally!
Tell us about it.
So the stupidest thing about this whole electric combo is, one, you add a shitload of weight. Fact, batteries. Put them in the boot. They have to charge. They have to redistribute MGU, pick it up from brakes, blah, 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 blah. You're in a rally. It's not exactly what F1 do in distance, but it's not far off. But you do it in the woods and you do it on snow, blah, blah, blah. It's heavy. It's fucking heavy. So do you know what the...
It's just not going to catch on, is it?
Do you know what the stupidest thing they're going to... No, agreed. Do you know what the stupidest thing they've had to do? They've had to spend so much on unnecessary things. Like, there's the class underneath WRC 1, or Rally 1, effectively, what these WRC cars are, is these electric hybrid cars things. Awesome. Cool. Wow, they got 510 brake. Oh, isn't it shiny? One underneath's got Rally 2. There's no KERS, there's no electric system, there's none of that crap. And yet, they weigh the same. And the only reason why they weigh the same, and as to why WRC 1 or Rally 1 has 5 entries, is because it's
Too expensive.
unnecessary expense.
It's dumb.
Because M Sport, for example, the Puma, we're all familiar
Which
with,
is a hilarious
who have
car.
been around for so many years now. Basically, our entire lives of rallying M
Yeah.
Sport have been
Yeah.
the Ford people, okay? When they've had to make the Rally 2 and the Rally 1, they've had to go, right, we got to save weight wherever we can. Pedal box, right? Simple thing. It's 3 buttons effectively for the driver. We're all aware of what a pedal box is if you drive. If you haven't driven, why are you watching us talk?
Unless you're American and you're confused by the third pedal.
Let's not get them involved, shall
No,
we?
let's
Anyway, they're not going to know what they're on about anyway.
It's
We're
okay.
talking about a
I've
thing
seen our
called
YouTube analytics. Literally, no one in America watches the show, so it's
So
okay.
they not?
No, literally.
Brilliant. Thank fuck for that. I'm going to turn to the left. No, let's get over that.
They're confused by corners as well, so that wouldn't work.
Only when it's right. Otherwise, left's very exciting.
Turn to
When
the
you've got a Rally 2... Oh.
Yeah, that is very true. We're not going to get bogged down by
Let's
any of
get
that.
up bogged down with
Let's throw some
all
politics in. Yeah, a Rally 2, it's the exact same. You know, the rules basically say you have to be X weight. I can't remember what it is off the top of my head, but it's whatever it is. Rally 1 and Rally 2 the same weight. One's got 510 equivalent power, the other one's got 380. But because of that, extra battery weight and shit, they've had to do things like the pedal box is titanium now in a Puma compared to a Rally 2 equivalent. Instead of being Ali or steel or whatever the hell it was before. That's 20 grand, that pedal box. Because it has to be made out of the lightest materials known to man, so they keep the centre of gravity low because the batteries are underneath. What the fuck?
It's almost as
Why
if
is it that much?
getting rid of electric makes things cheaper for everybody.
Weird.
And also, a rally car, it has a tendency, I don't know if anyone's seen rallying before, I know you two have, sometimes things go a little bit wrong and you end up in a tree.
Yes.
Let's put some batteries in it that cause fires.
Brilliant.
And then don't go out.
Who does?
Yeah, but it gets
Bye, Sweden.
It gets even better though.
No.
Not only are they not, they are ditching the hybrid, but also all manufacturers will be required to make cars available for sale to customers. Which means, chaps, does this mean
It's
the return of the
homologation
homologation time?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Let's make Fiat, however we can, between the three of us, we use all our power and let's get Fiat to realise Lancia need to get back into rallying, and then we'll get some Lancia homologation cars back. Like, let's say, oh, wait, I've got an idea.
Is it
037?
or something a bit Stratos-y shaped?
Oh,
Well, it just
Dino
paves the
V6.
it just paves
let's
the
put a
way
Busso
for
V6 in it.
Yes.
You know, one of my mates from rallying, he knows a guy who's got a kit car, Lancia Stratos.
Yeah, they got a Busso in it.
Yeah, they've got a Busso in it and they supercharged it. They've got 420 brake.
There's that one that's got the Ferrari 430, the M129 V8 in it, whatever it's called, M132. Can't remember. What a thing!
Can you imagine such glorious thing? So Polo, when they were winning the Polo, when VW were winning the 2017-ish
The Polo
Rally
R.
Championship. Yeah, Polo R.
What a thing!
4-wheel drive. 2-port fucking turbo.
I want
Who
one of
doesn't
those.
want that? It's your car, but with 4-wheel drive.
Mine's wrong-wheel drive. I want four-wheel drive.
Who wouldn't? Yaris GR, the only car that's come out of anywhere recently that's gone, I'm slightly homologated, even though I'm not.
Yeah, it's a bit
Imagine
shy.
I've gone mad that he could have gone with it.
But this is what I'm saying. This is what I was going to say. Is like the great news about this is it does pave the way, or at least pave the way for the potential for manufacturers to actually give us cars you want to buy.
Exactly, like old school Evo 6s, 7s,
Yeah.
8s and 9s.
Or
Proper
like the
cars.
Subarus, and you're either a Subaru guy or an Evo guy.
Why did you
and
mention Subarus?
the only reason I bring this up is because off camera, before we started recording, these two had a proper lovers tiff.
Knights of Columbus, that hurt!
Oh my god! Handbags
There was
at
some
dawn.
arguing.
Yeah. But, so out of homologation cars,
Mitsubishi should get back in a rally.
you're very much in Mitsubishi camp and you're very much in Subaru camp, aren't you?
What camp are you in?
Very much Subaru, yes.
I am remaining completely neutral and out of this.
Okay, right.
Just give me an Alitalia livery and something that will break down.
But you'd like your engine in whatever rally car, homologation car you'd like to have for a road car. Because you're aware, rally homologation cars are awesome. No.
Yes.
Dad had a Lancia Delta. Wow. He had it on the road.
Renault
cool
5.
as fuck. Brilliant stuff. But you'd like your pistons to be facing the right way up, wouldn't you?
We interrupt this program to bring you an important announcement.
I don't know.
They're
what do you
lazy.
say?
Agrees. Good.
The pistons are just having a lay down. They're more
They're tired and
relaxed.
lazy. I agree.
Yeah.
It's probably why they didn't win as many drivers' championships.
If I'll tell you what, you ask any person on the street to name a rally car, I know what they would say though. But
Mitsubishi Evo, yeah, I agree with you.
Or would they say the 555 Impreza?
yeah, they would.
They definitely
Correct.
would say that.
Cluster grenade.
But
Only if they play PlayStation, they haven't actually done any proper racing themselves. I agree. Yeah.
however, chaps, my favourite of all the homologation cars out of every era is the Lancia 037 street version, the road-going version, which
Sexual.
ties us neatly on to our next subject of news.
Oh yeah, you brought this to the table.
Indeed. So
Yeah.
there's a company called Chimera
Yeah.
who they basically reimagined the Lancia 037, which I think you'll probably all agree with me. It's the prettiest rally car ever made. It's two-wheel drive,
Water roll.
just absolutely stunning car. Chimera reimagined it for the 21st century, and they put the same 2.1 litre engine in it. Delivered a stupid amount of horsepower. They used all sorts of fancy materials like carbon and titanium and all those kind of things in it, and wrapped it in the most glorious, beautiful body shell I've ever seen on a car. Now, at some point, they've looked at that and gone, God, that car's a bit ugly, isn't it? We can do better than that. They did do better. So what they did is at Geneva Motor Show, which was about, I think, 2 or 3 weeks ago, they revealed the Evo 38.
Well, it's one louder, isn't it?
So they've taken the 037 and they've made it four-wheel drive, given it more horsepower because the original one was really underpowered.
You did say four-wheel drive there, didn't you?
Four-wheel drive.
Interesting. Okay.
Yes, I'll explain to you in a second why.
More power, I guess.
More power and just better. It's apparently got a more snappy gear change because I imagine the one in the 037 was awful.
Sure. Yeah.
But the important thing about it is it's actually a reimagined version of a car Lancia never built, which was called the SE 038, which was nicknamed the Manzinga, which is a great name.
That is a great name.
So it was like a test bed 037.
Well, a prototype kind of thing.
Prototype, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
They fitted four-wheel drive to an 037 and they developed that basically into the Delta S4 that came afterwards.
Yeah, it's four fucking
So
mental car.
Chimera have looked at that and gone, yeah, but what if we actually built that as a road-going car? And they have. So some of the headline statistics, it has got, obviously, four-wheel drive, 600 brake horsepower, electronic diff, and it weighs less than an Alpine A110, which we've got displayed on the
Holy
table
shit,
here.
you could take that Supercars Rallycross.
And the A110, it's not exactly fat, is it?
No, it's about 1,100
It's quite-
kilos dry weight, I think.
Quite lightweight. And
About that table, isn't it?
I think it's probably the best-looking car I've seen in recent memory.
Do we know how much it's going to cost?
A lot.
Do we know the figure?
My computer crashed because it was just too many numbers on the screen.
Oh, man.
Is it
finally
price
couldn't
on
keep up.
application?
Now, I know the Chimera 037 Evo was about 500 grand, I think, roughly, and they built 37 examples of that.
Yeah.
This one's got more things on it, and they're building 38 examples of it. At a guess, I'd say probably 700-800 grand.
Sir, here is a check with my name on it. Write down any number on this piece of paper and I will pay it.
Bargain. I'll have two.
But just before we move on, Chimera have also announced another car they're going to build, which they're going to reveal later on this year, which is called the K39, which is a homage to the Group 5 Lancia Beta Monte Carlo silhouette.
Nice.
It's basically a long sort of Group 5, sort of Le Mans-ish kind of car, and it looks stunning. They've released a 3D model of what it's going to look like, and we'll put it in post. It looks stunning. It's going to be amazing. We'll have all of them. Good work, Camara.
Damn.
Very good work.
I'm very happy with what's
Yeah,
going on in the world,
absolutely.
apart from the dishwashers and the, hot point fucking tumble dryers and stuff.
No one needs a washing machine. They're
Car of the
overrated.
year. Cool.
I know.
Well,
Tragic.
I mean, all this talk of rally cars and homologation
Proper
cars.
stuff, you mean?
Yeah. Well, I'll let you two still squabble over what is the ultimate homologation car.
We've bored our sound engineer to
The
death.
sound engineer is so bored, he's buggering off. Bored. Big love to sound engineer Harry Evans. So moving on to our main section for today then.
Main? Oh, we haven't got there yet.
No, the main section. Well, it kind of follows nicely on from what we were just talking about is poster cars. And the question we're asking this week is, what has happened to the poster car? Because
they don't exist. There's hot point dishwashers and all this shit.
That's what that's. But this is a fundamental.
Where is it?
This is a fundamental question. And
what is this crap?
It's just rubbish, isn't it?
What is this shit?
I've already thrown mine away. Yes, but so the definition of the bedroom wall poster car. What you nailed it pretty much earlier, wasn't it? What would you define?
It's got to be
as the bedroom.
Yeah,
poster car.
BMW electric car. That's got to be it.
I think a poster car, it's got to be something that you love when you're 4 years old and you love it when you're 54 years old.
Yeah.
It's got to be a consistent...
And you'd have it on your
Capture your
wall.
imagination the whole way through.
Absolutely.
You'd have it on your wall at 4 years old.
Yeah.
And you'd also, you'd have it on your wall in your study or your office, maybe when you're 54 as well.
Yeah.
And the point is that because when you're 4, you're dreaming that maybe when you are 54, you might be able to.
Even though you won't.
Finally, you won't be able to have one, but you might be able to. You have the chance.
Yeah, they're dream cars. It's something that you dream. I mean, even if you. Let's face it, like most of these cars on the table, we'll never probably be fortunate enough to own anything like this. We might get a ride in one sometime if we're lucky. But just the fantasizing about owning one, it sort of strives you to carry on through life, that hoping one day that you might just be able to get one.
Yeah. I mean, that for you two.
Oh, the F40. Yeah, all day long.
That right there.
We covered that in episode 1, didn't we?
Well, the McLaren F1, they're about 10, 15 million easy.
Fuck off, really?
Yes. Yes, they are.
Fuck off!
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, F40s are 2.5 mil now.
2.5, 3
Sounds
mil.
so reasonable now.
I mean, the 355
reasonable.
is it's the comparative bargain out of the 4 cars on here.
I have 5.
Shit, me.
So the big question is, poster cars, suitable candidates.
Mitsubishi
for...
EV.
Oh,
Sorry,
God.
no, sorry.
Give it
No,
a
we won't go. Hey, let's not do this.
I'm not biting. I'm not.
What
I'm not rising.
has,
Oh,
gentlemen,
you can't shake a Mitsubishi.
Shut up.
Gentlemen, put your handbags away and answer the question. What has happened to the poster car? What has happened to the
Well,
poster
they
car?
turned into dishwashers. That's the real problem. Mm-hmm. I would say that I don't know what they're going to be. They're going to be 14s to 9, 8. They're going to know about the P1 McLaren, for example.
That's a good candidate.
That's a good-looking car. It's fabulous, and I know you
Psychotic.
two don't agree with me, but that factor of turning electric mode on to get out of the village and, in the rural areas, or not piss off the neighbours, whatever it may be, and then turn it on, I think is a cool feature. That's just me. I'm not saying I prefer it, by the way. I'm just saying I don't hold it against it like you two do.
Are you ill?
Max, I'm sorry. If you've got a car...
I did have a cider earlier.
Max, the McLaren P1 is 860 horsepower supercar with butterfly doors. At what point do you think, I really want to be discreet?
Here's my point
It's not why you have a McLaren, is it? You want everyone to look at me.
Would you not have one?
Yes, I would. I wouldn't drive it in electric mode everywhere because I'm not an idiot.
Okay, but it does exist on your car. You have a hybrid.
It does, but I don't need to use it, do I? The hybrid motor
you
is
do
there.
have a hybrid car. You're basically like a Prius owner with more money.
Well, no, because I'm not going to drive around London and crash into every single thing like a Prius owner does.
I'm glad we went there.
Have you two finished?
Yeah, please stop us.
Oh, okay. No worries. When you've quite finished arguing,
We're in a really angry mood
This is
today.
only going to get worse.
we've got a list. Let's move it on before
right.
you two stab each other.
Mackin Edition Evo 6. No, wait, sorry. No, I read the wrong
We've
one.
got a list of, well, you two have got a list.
911 Turbo 1993. That's a stupid car.
We've got a list of what we feel are the poster cars. If you're watching at home, and thank you if you're still watching, if you have your own suggestions of what you feel were your poster cars or what you had on your bedroom wall when you were younger, please do let us know in the comments below.
And also future postcards as well. We'd love to know.
Postcards, or what you would consider, what you put on your bedroom wall now if you were a teenager now,
Jennifer
if that
Lawrence.
makes sense. No, not Jennifer Lawrence. You know,
Hashtag what's on your wall. Well, actually, no, we don't want to know that.
We don't want to know.
we don't have
No.
No,
Want
like
to
a
know what's on
plasterer's
your wall.
radio.
Anywho, you've got the list there. So
You've got the list there.
no, I haven't got a list.
No, you
It's,
threw it over there because we wrote it on the back of the other bit.
You
Brilliant.
threw it on the
I'll take it
floor. You threw it on the floor.
Well, let's surprise you. Guess what's top?
Well, it's an F40, isn't it? I can
Correct,
see it from
yeah.
here. But
Well,
we've covered the
Should we
F40.
share notes? It's like being at school again.
Next one.
It's a Countach, sir.
Lamborghini Countach, yes.
I think that if we was being sensible and looked
Sensible,
at
good
history, the Countach is probably the poster car, isn't it?
Can I burst everyone's bubble here for a
You can only
second?
pop his. I don't care.
I've never really cared for the Countach, to be honest.
Yeah.
No, I've never really cared for it. I've always been more of a Diablo kind of
Do you
child.
know what? Subaru
Oh no, the
people
Diablo's
do
my
this.
favourite. I'd have a Diablo. I've driven a Countach and it was fucking terrible.
Yeah, everyone
Prefer that
collectively says, yeah, Diablo. Oh, the Diablo is the next one.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
Subaru people prefer Countaches.
Countach has never really done it for me, to be
I
honest.
just said I preferred a Diablo, you blithering idiot.
Just saying. Also, you considered it.
You're a colossal anus today, aren't you? Right.
Yeah,
I
okay.
hate it when people are wrong in front of me.
I do apologise to my co-hosts.
I don't know what's come over us today.
Something
Episode
in there.
I told you it's that cider.
Episode 1 and 2, we was all harmonious, and this week we just want to stab each other in the throat. It is that cider because we got through all the definitely not Hogsons a bit too quickly the other day, didn't we?
mouth.
So we've only got a limited supply.
Yeah.
So this
Eat up,
one here,
Next one.
Eat up, Jags.
No,
we got the Miura.
covered those.
No,
we
yeah.
offended everyone who's ever even liked an E-Type last week, so we'll just gloss over that and get on to the next one.
Yeah, they're overrated. Go away. Lamborghini Miura,
The Miura,
probably
yes.
the first mid-engine, the first mid-engine supercar.
Yeah, it looks good. There's some nice resto mods of the Miura that go for about 10 or 20 million pounds now, so they're quite
nice
good.
and affordable.
And presumably they would actually work.
Oh well, for at least
For at least 15 minutes.
yeah, enough to get you to the shops and back. So after the Miura, that's quite an obvious one. Any what's the next one?
Porsche 959,
Ah, yes.
a good-looking car.
Is it good looking?
Fast.
Exciting.
I think it is in a
subjective.
a Porsche kind of way.
It was so technically advanced, wasn't it? The 959 for its day, didn't it? What you had some.
It's four-wheel drive, four-wheel
Yeah.
steering,
Four-wheel
twin
steering,
turbo,
yeah.
flat six, lots of electronics inside as well.
Wasn't it one of the first sort of supercars to really properly do four-wheel steering? Wasn't it, or with like a tricky dip? I could be wrong. On that, sorry.
I think so. Someone with a moustache and beard will be commenting and tell us we're wrong, but I think it might.
And it had active aero as well, didn't it?
It did, yes.
Yeah, which for 1988
Incredible.
or 87,
I mean,
88, 87.
good luck getting the parts for one of those now if it fails.
Ah, hello, sir. I hear you need a new part for your 959. If you'd just like to bend over the table.
I shall get out the oiled fire extinguisher
Yeah.
to shove up your behind.
Anyway, I'm sensing Max isn't particularly interested in the 959. So what's the next one?
We got the Ferrari Testarossa, which you can only have if you've got a moustache as well.
Correct.
Sounds good.
That's about it.
I
Moving
know
on.
they're not good, but most of these poster cars are not good.
It's a V12. Ferrari know what they're doing with the
It
V12. Can't say was my poster.
It's of era, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's everything's relative. We've got such a wide range.
I'd like
of
to-
incredible things now.
I actually think, I've got a theory on the Ferrari Testarossa. I think it's actually impossible to drive one and not have your sleeves rolled up on your blazer.
It is, yeah. You've got
When you do
to have
it.
a sports jacket with a sleeveless vest on.
I'm
underneath.
thinking
You know what,
maybe-
for a moment, I nearly took you seriously.
I think it may be like a grey suit with like a pink t-shirt underneath.
Oh,
Yes.
and the Ray-Bans.
And then, oh, fuck me, Jeff had one, didn't he?
He did.
Of course he
Yeah.
fucking did.
Yeah. Yeah,
So basically, what you're saying is to have a Testarossa, you have to actually be Don Johnson. Just to get things moving along, I'll fire through a couple here. So
Yep.
XJ220 Jag,
Brilliant.
fabulous car.
The best car with a Metro engine.
Absolutely. Ferrari F50, not loved by a lot of people, but I think they're absolutely
We had this
magnificent.
conversation, on the F50. Didn't
Yes.
we not have this conversation just the other week? Because we watched a video of Chris Harris or someone blatting it round
Yes,
at
yes, we
Anglesey.
did.
Hasn't the F50 aged really gracefully?
No.
I think.
It has.
Might not have got the love because it was in the
He's wrong.
F40's shadow at the time and got like slated even by his Lord and Saviour JC.
Indeed, the
He
one
didn't like
time
it.
in history has been incorrect.
Yeah,
I think.
but I think you look at them now and it's like, what a good-looking car! Like
a fabulous
looks
looking
great.
car. Shit.
It sounds
No, it
amazing.
doesn't.
Yes, it does.
It doesn't. You're just wrong, and they
It
sound
looks like a Barry Boy version of a
incredible.
Ferrari. It looks like that if you gave it a Halfords.
Okay.
That's what it looks like.
Tough crowd.
Mark IV Supra twin turbo. That's very much of our generation.
I definitely had a poster of a Mark IV Supra.
I did in black.
In black. Maybe we had the same poster.
I think we probably did.
Not so different, you and I.
No, we're not. A couple that we've covered in previous episodes: the RX-7, the Spicy Dorito,
Spicy Dorito living.
Dodge Viper, obviously. I definitely had a poster of a Dodge Viper.
Yep.
But because I'm a bit weird, I also had a poster of a Dodge Ram pickup on my wall. But that's a
Yeah,
conversation.
and you still do want one of those as well.
I do, yes. But maybe one time we'll have a podcast where we talk about our favourite movie cars, because that is one of my favourite movie cars, which I'll explain on another
It'll go down
episode.
really well in Canterbury as well. I think you should have one.
Absolutely, yeah. I'll piss off everybody.
Yeah.
Oh, can you imagine going to like somewhere like Oxford where they all like bicycles? Ruin their weekend.
Brilliant.
Anyway, Honda NSX,
Oh,
one
such
of the
an
best
underrated car.
looking supercars of all time, developed by the Lord himself.
There's a great
Mr.
video.
Senna.
It's quite well known, so apologies if you already know about this. But if you haven't, go check it out. It's available on YouTube. There's a great video of the Lord and Saviour Ayrton Senna driving. I think he was just doing a publicity test day in the NSX. He's going around Suzuka, and he turns up looking, just the absolute business in the height of 80s fashion. And he's wearing round Ray-Bans. He's wearing chinos, and he's wearing loafers.
And his feet
Yeah.
are going absolutely bananas.
And you've never seen loafers drive so well in your life. It's a video very well worth checking out. That's an absolute classic.
I mean, we can all aspire to drive like that.
Yeah, in loafers. Max, have you ever driven in loafers?
Yeah.
Yeah. How did it go?
Mega weight swap, agility factor, exciting actually more than anything. But the main thing about that NSX is the fact that it's been set up by someone proper.
Yeah.
The Honda McLaren partnership at that time was just on point with the world's best man known to planet Earth, apart from TF, if I'd like to go there.
Probably the prettiest Japanese car ever made. Would I
Yeah.
be
Oh,
right
I
in
wouldn't go
saying
that far.
Well, it's up there. It's in top 5, isn't it? Surely.
Prettiest?
Yeah.
Prettiest,
Well, LFA.
full stop.
All right, LFA.
No, Mitsubishi Evo.
Max.
No, yes, left LFA. No, I was agreeing with you. I agree with you. I agree with you. I agree
I
with
have
you. I
told
agree
you,
with
you need to stop sniffing paint before you come on the podcast. Right, anyway, moving on.
smells so good.
God give me strength, you two.
You believe in
hell.
God? Interesting.
He's the one who keeps bringing it up.
He's become American
I'm
over
being
here.
the
You'd
sensible,
be more concerned about him.
I'm being the sensible, mature one here. You're being a tit.
No, I'm being...
Anyway, McLaren F1
Oh, yes.
needs literally no introduction. Developed by Gordon Murray.
Developed by Rowan Atkinson.
Crashed by Rowan Atkinson, but developed by Gordon Murray, the owner of the world's best moustache, and also has developed probably the best cars.
Paid out by an insurance company. Everyone wins.
Incredible.
Perfect. Moving on. Why is that on my eye line?
What, the DeLorean?
Ugh.
Because it was a poster car and
It was a movie star.
Moving on.
I wouldn't
Yep.
say it's a poster car.
But people did have posters on it because it was iconic.
wow.
I think it's a shit car, don't get me wrong.
My notes about you.
Shit is doing a disservice to shit.
Correct.
It is. It's a terrible car, but sometimes terrible cars are poster cars, such as the Countach. Terrible car, but people did have posters on
Yeah,
their
but
walls.
it's at least funny, and nothing's funny about a DeLorean.
Yes, but it was an
my
icon.
vehicle. That's cool. Brilliant. You made a steel and you've got no power. Fuck off.
Do you know what? I thought of a word for you, Max, and it rhymes with fucking bellend.
Yeah.
Right. Moving on. It's not going to get any better with the next one. Subaru rally cars.
Oh, why is that on the list? Right, moving on.
Because it's the most iconic rally
What about
car.
an Alpha 3.3 Stradale? That's more like it.
If you
Let's
walk up
talk
to
about
any
exciting
person
things.
on the street and say, name me the most famous rally car in the world, they would say blue Subaru with 555 on it. Am I wrong,
Toyota
Tim?
Or Ford or,
But what about the Mitsubishi with the Mackinnon?
What, you mean the car that won more Drivers' World Championships?
It doesn't matter who won
whatever
more.
the
It's
fuck
about
he's
what's
on
more iconic.
This could
Why
go
is it
on.
more iconic? Like, what?
Because it is.
Are you American
It just
all of a
is.
sudden? I've bought a Mustang. All Subarus must be the most iconic thing ever. That must be your logic.
A few moments later.
Anyway,
96, 97, 98, 99. Oh, that's 4 back-to-back championships. Cool.
yes, but
How's your Subaru doing on that one?
The Subaru.
Wait.
What?
Oh, wait.
What the Subaru? What the car everybody remembers?
Well, my guy's still alive. 2 of yours are dead.
Doesn't
So,
matter.
just
The
saying.
car's still alive though. People still remember the car.
Why, you
Now,
idiots?
come on. There are no losers at St Barnabas's. Both your cars have had some lovely special editions and were driven by very good drivers. Now, let's
Toyota fans,
shake
they're all
hands.
cheaters anyway.
Shake fucking hands!
I might actually,
Do it!
I might end up with yellow stars on my hand. I can't risk it.
Boy, that escalated quickly.
Anyway, moving on. Before Tim bursts an artery, I don't think this is going to get any better from here. Actually, 911 turbo.
You're lucky you don't have to be friends with them. I do.
Yeah, imagine that. 911 turbo, specifically all the air-cooled ones, so the 930, 964, and the 993.
Apart from that one.
Why? Actually, no, don't
Why?
answer that one, Max.
Only
Anyway,
like the new
moving
ones.
on. Lotus Esprit.
Yeah, really?
Yeah, I only like the new ones. Yeah, the Esprit. I love the Esprit. That's lovely.
It was in James Bond
Testify,
film.
wasn't
That means it's instantly a poster car.
Yeah.
And what are we talking about?
The Esprit.
The
Oh,
Esprit.
Lotus.
Yeah, I moved on from 911 before you started shouting at me.
Yep.
I've been shouted at so much. Need a zesty drink.
The original Alpha 33 Stradale.
Yes, correct.
It's one of the first supercars ever made. Few headline statistics because it's quite an obscure one. They only built, I think it was 17 of them.
Wow.
So this weighed 18, rather. It weighed 700 kilograms. Cost 9.7 million lira new, which is about
57p.
was $17,000 at the time.
Oh.
The
Holy
Lamborghini,
fuck.
the Lamborghini Miura was 7.7 million. This one was 9.7.
It's shinier.
It cost around £6,000 in UK pounds in '67, which was 3 times the cost of a 3 times the cost of a Jaguar E-Type at the time.
Oh, but look at it, though.
First production car ever made with butterfly doors.
But look at it, though.
Look at it, and
You would have plenty of time to look at it because you'd be constantly looking at it broken down at the side of the road.
well, yes, of course you would.
That's why they made it so
but,
beautiful.
Indeed.
You know,
Thinking ahead.
the Miura had a big old V12 in it. This had a 2-litre V8, and it still developed similar performance to the Miura.
I think your hatchback's actually got more power.
Are there any
Both.
still left in existence?
Yes.
Oh, so they haven't all rusted away.
They haven't all rusted away. There is
erosion.
Interesting.
one single blue one that was made, still exists. There is a prototype, I believe, in a museum.
there's a
and the
museum,
last
yeah.
one at auction sold for about £12 million.
What a fabulous looking thing.
12 million to break down, but I don't care. I want one.
doesn't
Give
matter.
me one.
I'd put it on the wall just to look at it.
I must admit, if I was driving my girlfriend from south of Italy to one of the little islands, like maybe like Capri or something, you just had to get a little boat or a little ferry just over to the island there.
Well, you'd need it because the Alpha would have broken
Well,
down.
yeah, absolutely. But let's assume for a second you've just recently got your Alfa 033 from the garage. And he said, you've probably got a few, you've got maybe 20 miles before it breaks down again. That's the
being generous,
journey. I'd do it, and it would be perfect for that. Yeah.
Lancia Stratos.
Yep, correct. The second prettiest rally car ever made, behind the 037.
Yeah, I mean...
Looking like you might disagree with me when I tell you you've got a 2.5 V6 in the back.
Yeah, no, I think they're
The
hilarious.
D-Not engine.
Yeah, I don't want one, though.
No, I don't want one.
Sorry.
You what?
I don't want one. I want to look at one, though, all day long.
I enjoy looking at other people
I'm sorry,
trying
I'm
to
confused
drive
by
them.
both of you. Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to have.
You'd rather have a 993 911.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because it would work.
I don't know you two.
The Stratos is very pretty, but it will constantly break down.
So I'm
and
moving
it'll
on
kill
again.
you.
Right, let's at least, before I want to murder you both.
Don't get me wrong. The Lancia Stratos, I understand its greatness. I understand its position in the car world, and it is a poster car.
Yes.
And I can see
Iconic.
I can see the shot of it now with the brace of cibbies on the front, flying through the air off a jump with his Alitalia livery,
Well, he wouldn't jump
with
that
gold
much.
wheels.
He's shitting himself.
Thinking
Yeah.
about new and inventive ways of how to murder you.
Exactly, and that is iconic. Don't get me wrong, and I'm glad it exists. I personally, it's totally subjective. I personally don't want one.
Yeah.
I just don't. I don't want one.
Look, Max. Look, I
Like how
really,
good was the road? How good was the road car? Because no one lived to tell the tale, did they?
No, and the
And
pedals
I'm not
are in
talking
a different
about
postcode.
a replica made by Jeff when he's pissed on his downtime
Yes.
in his shed. I'm talking about an actual Lancia Stratos.
Yeah.
Do we know? Well, maybe if anyone knows, if anyone's driven one, a real one. Actually, how good was it? Because all of the reports I'm hearing is a lot of misty-eyed, rose-tinted spectacles nonsense, where it's like, "Oh, this is the best car ever."
Okay.
But actually, it's spiteful. It's horrible to drive. It's absolutely the driving position's laughable,
I've sat in one.
and
The pedals are in a different postcode.
it's
to the
useless
steering
at
wheel.
basically everything other than tackling an Italian B road for like maybe 10 minutes until you get back spasms. And for me, I can
No,
take or
exactly.
leave it.
You're absolutely spot on. And Max,
Soz.
let me put this in context for you, right? I quite like sharks. They're amazing to look at.
Do you want to get one? No.
I don't want one, though. I don't want a shark.
Yeah.
The Lancia is a shark.
It does. It actually kind of got a bit sharky.
It does look sharky,
Sharky. Yeah. Sorry, Max. Sorry. to piss
Anyway,
on
next
chips
one.
there.
One postcard I'd like to end on because it was designed by Jeff, and I think Jeff is going to come on very shortly.
I'll have a look in a minute. Yeah.
The Vector W8
Oh yes.
/ M12.
Yeah. Now, if I think actually
That
maybe
literally means nothing to me. What are we talking about?
the Vector W8, we'll put a picture of it in post that you.
Well, how the hell am I going to know that sitting there?
Oh my god, amazing! Yeah, it looks like a lump of cheese that someone's cut some vents into the side
No,
of.
what it looks like is somebody from the 80s went into the future and someone described what a futuristic car would look like. And they got back into their time machine and went, brilliant, got the notes, thanks very much. Went back to the 80s and went, right, but we don't know how to make shapes like that. So I'm going to try and interpret. It's an artist's interpretation of a futuristic car, but in the 80s. And then also it was made by some people who had this kind of, I think, fantastic notion of like, because it was made by people who basically wanted to have like a jet fighter for the road.
With a
And I'm not
disc.
talking about Saabs here. I'm talking about people who literally wanted to make it so you felt like you were an actual pilot.
I feel depressed.
And that's why it still has the best interior dashboard combo of any car I've ever seen. I look at the interior of the Vector W8, and not only do I immediately want one, but I just want to know all about. I just want to see it. I want to know all about it. I want to be near it. I want to look. I want to press all the buttons. I want to look at the shit dot matrix displays. It's
I think the real
so
question
cool.
is when they were designing that interior, how many drugs were consumed?
Oh, so much cocaine, no doubt. It was the 80s.
All of it. All of it.
That's why they ran out of money. That's actually a very good point, because that's why they ran out of money to do a proper gearbox.
Yes.
Yeah, and they put a 3-speed automatic
They
in it.
did all of their investment money on cocaine and then forgot, oh shit, we haven't done a gearbox. We got this amazing engine, got this amazing looking car. It's all set up nicely. Fuck, gearbox.
It gets better though.
Man.
The Vector story doesn't end there. They went on to release another car called the M12. We'll put a picture up in post now.
Oh,
Looks good,
I know
doesn't
that
it?
one.
Doesn't it
I know
have a
that
three-
one I
Oh, you do know.
I know that one. I didn't know the one.
Doesn't it have it
before.
on the gearbox? Am I right in saying it's got a 3-speed automatic?
The W8 has got a 3-speed automatic.
Why don't you know so much about this?
It's iconic.
It
You know,
is. It's a ridiculous car. It's very much of the like Amstrad Atari era of supercars, and
Right,
it's
okay.
absolutely
if
bonkers.
Atari did cars, it would be that.
Okay.
And they're like the deepest dish wheels of any car from that era, maybe notwithstanding the Countach, which are pretty deep dish, weren't they?
I don't know how deep the dish wheels
Kind
are.
of with you both.
Hilarious. But they went on to do the M12. So the company was sold and bought by a company called Megatech. which were an Indonesian company. They also,
Stupid name.
they also, oh, it's brilliant.
Megatech assemble.
Yeah. Versus the Skepticons.
Megatech also bought.
Where's the cocaine?
I want some drugs.
Fucking hell. They also bought Lamborghini at the same time, and they developed this M12, and it had a Lamborghini gearbox, Lamborghini V12 in the back, Lamborghini chassis, except they put a bit of metal in the middle and made it longer, but didn't change any of the geometry of the suspension.
Oh, right. Well, that makes
anything.
more sense.
And then they all had a bottle of presumably absinthe, maybe some other
And
extracurricular activities, and they said, how much do we charge for that?
The 80s.
200 grand?
I can't believe it.
That will do. And then they tried to sell it to the Americans and said, look, buy this. It's got Lamborghini Diablo underneath it.
I remember the story, yeah.
But they also, because Megatech bought Lamborghini, they was also trying to sell Americans an actual Lamborghini Diablo at the same time.
Oh, compete with yourself for the win.
Company went bust because the Megatech CEO's son embezzled them for about $8 million.
And cocaine.
All on cocaine, yes.
Was that Jeff's first job?
No, because we know he goes way. He's got the time machine, hasn't he?
Oh, yeah.
But then
I
again, I suppose he could have gone forward. I don't know. Maybe
We never know with him, though.
We'll
do
find
we?
out on another episode. But anyway, they to try and recoup some of their losses, they sold Vector to Audi, who obviously VAG now own Lamborghini. But because they had some M12s left to build, they didn't think about maybe checking that the engines and the gearboxes and the chassis have been delivered from Italy. And then they realised we've got nothing left to build the rest of the cars. But anyway, they built the rest of them. And the point is,
What a specimen.
it was definitely designed by Jeff, wasn't it? And speaking of Jeff, we should...
Just before Jeff comes on, I think what we'll do is we've talked about the old poster cars and poster cars that we had as kids, and again, if you have any, we may have missed some absolute obvious ones out. So if you've got any suggestions at home, please do leave us a note in the comments as to what your poster cars were. Not literally what you had on your walls, but
Hashtag what's on your walls.
but we'll get on to what we think may possibly be, it's a short list, what we could consider as future poster cars going forward as a
from now?
sort of way looking forward. But first of all, is he ready? Are you ready? Is it?
I don't know. I hear stumbling.
I think I just heard him try and start a lawnmower. So
No, that was my alpha.
Oh, was it? Oh, okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, back from somewhere, it's Jeff.
Yeah.
Embarrassing. Who are you three?
What's that? You know, you spoke to us earlier. You met us at the bar. You said about that thing you did with the Vector W8.
Oh no, you know, it's fine.
What have you been up to recently, mate?
Oh, I've been busy. I just got back from Japan from a business meeting, something to do about Mazda triangles. Anyway, I've been designing a new TVR this week. It's called the Cerbera. It's really funny. It's exciting. And so we designed a new engine for it because we know engines are really expensive, so we'll build our own one for a bit of fun. It's flat plane crank V8 with dry stomachs. It's basically a race car engine. The best thing about it though is it's got no stability control. If you want stability, don't crash the fucking car. Simple as that.
Yeah, and so what happened then, Jeff? Wasn't there something about a V12?
Yeah, we've done a V12 version as well. So I thought, we're building our own V8 one. Why don't we make it even more reliable by putting another 4 cylinders on it? That'd be hilarious. What a stupid idea. But it's going to work. It'll be fine. We're going to win everything. And TVR will be a household name. Just you watch this space. Well, anyway, I've got to shoot off. I've got to go and see Bugatti about a V6, a V17 or something anyway.
Right, anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's Jeff. Jeff will be coming on hopefully every episode if he can find his way to Nico's bar. It was hit and miss whether he could make it today, but glad he did.
That was
Jeff, ladies and gentlemen.
That was an education.
He was an education, and he will be continuing to educate us in the ways going forward. Henry, what's been grinding your cams recently?
Right, well, grinding my cams
Apart
this
from
week.
Max.
Before I get on to the main ones that I've jotted down for this week, the other day I was looking at an article on the internet, and it was the 20 ugliest cars designed on there. Someone picked the Ferrari Enzo.
Really?
Yes.
It is quite shit looking, quite frankly.
It's not pretty.
It's not pretty.
Yeah, but it's not exactly...
It's iconic. It's not pretty.
Top 20 ugliest cars, though.
Yeah,
really?
that is a bit much. That is a bit much.
Yeah.
That is way too far.
I
That
could
is way
think
too-
of 20
Fuck
uglier
you,
cars.
internet.
Yeah, in a world where
got it
we've
wrong.
got, you know...
Yeah, Roller and Robbins,
Don't know where it's
Dukes,
gone.
Qashqais.
I mean, look,
Vauxhalls.
out of how many cars there? Out of the top 20 ugliest cars in the world, 7 of them were nominees for Car of the
There
Year.
they are. And the other, what, how is it? 20? So the other 13 are all Vauxhall Porsche special editions.
There wasn't a single Vauxhall on there, believe it or not.
Fuck off.
So anyway,
Who made this?
Where
the
are
man...
where are the 16-year-old girls going to go?
It's a good question. Definitely for another time. But anyway, whoever voted the Enzo as ugly, you're a fucking idiot. Right. Anyway, now I'll get onto my main part. So I
What's
want
been
to talk...
grinding your cams, Henry?
Right,
Mitsubishi people.
well, yeah, they're fucking irritating as well. But I want to talk about probably one of my... got to be one of my top 3 motoring annoyances. And it's the irritating menace known in the wild as the backseat driver.
Wankers. Fucking embarrassing.
They say the most annoying fucking things in the world for a start. And also, first of all, you're just insulting me because you're asking me to inconvenience myself to give you a lift somewhere.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you sit there and start commenting on my driving when, you know, where's your car then?
Yeah, exactly.
For example.
It does appear to be a situation you're in where you're in my car and I'm driving, and therefore you will sit down and shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up, fat man.
I will drive. That was a bit aggressive.
No, that's how aggressive I feel, though, because they say these really, really irritating things. I've jotted down a few here. So the one that always gets me is after you've made maybe a small mistake in terms of directions, they look at you and go, you should have gone the other way.
I didn't mean to do that.
Captain
Or,
fucking hindsight.
Slash,
Right, nice.
I knew we should have gone that way.
Yeah, great one.
So that's
I thought this wasn't right.
that's really useful information. That would have come in. That's going to come in really handy. Like 15 minutes ago when it actually happened.
Lane
know,
positioning.
They're the same as those twats who say "mind your head" after you've hit your head.
Yeah. Yeah. Send us a postcard next time when you trip. Brilliant.
Exactly. Yeah.
See you next fall.
Yeah, backseat drivers are annoying. A little shout out to my mum, my dear mummy. She is one of the most loveliest people in the universe.
Hi, Jane.
But she is an awful passenger. Sorry, mum. But I don't know if anyone else, maybe you at home have this thing with any of your parents
My
or
nan and
family
granddad.
members, your grandparents or whatever. But she does this thing where she'd be in the passenger seat and you'd be doing a grand total of 45 miles an hour. And she'd just be like, brake! And it's like, mum, calm down. I'm in full control of this vehicle, you know. Or you know,
I wasn't until you shocked me.
yeah, I mean, I did shit her up the other day. I took her out in the AMG. She's never been out in the AMG.
Oh, dear.
And I felt the need to pop it into sport mode and just let her know what that's like. And oh my God, the histrionics was amazing. Love you, mum. But it was like, it's like, mum, I've got this under control. But anyway, yeah, but she's not really a backseat driver. She's just a bad passenger.
So it's your birthday next week, isn't it, Tim?
What's that?
It's your birthday next week, isn't it?
It is.
Well,
yes.
your mum's not getting you a present now, not after that.
No, yeah. It's all right. I'm only 27 again for the sixth time.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Same as
good
last
for your
year.
age.
Yeah, same as Jan the year before.
Excellent.
That.
Yeah, I'm 21 again next week. Next month. No,
Fuck, what am I?
no, it's July. I forgot my own birthday. That's good. Anyway, this comes in the same sort of vein as the previous one, really. People who interfere with directions when you have nav on already.
Yes, brilliant.
And, you know, for absolutely no reason.
I'm sorry, I didn't realise you worked for Google Maps.
Exactly. But you'll get a direction like, you know, in 300 yards, turn left. And when you get to the roundabout, there goes left here. So just I fucking know. I just heard the woman say it. And often they will hear that direction that says, you know, 300 yards, turn left. And they'll go, yeah, right here. No, sorry, I mean left. Great, you've just made everything at least 400% more confusing. Well done. Another one, aren't you a bit close to the car in front? Well, am I touching it? No, then what could possibly transpire here then? What's me being a bit close going to actually do? Anyway, another one. You were a bit close to that cyclist.
Not close enough, I'd say.
Not close enough. You know.
Sorry, cyclists. Not sorry.
I'm not.
Look, we're not saying that you should knock cyclists off. We're just saying that you
could.
You could.
Yeah, and I'll give you 10 points.
One very quick one. This wasn't originally in the schedule, but as you well know, the other day I was coming back from Essex on the M2.
Oh, yeah.
Going back home. And I was so angry I had to send you a voice clip.
You did,
of what transpired.
So this isn't to do with backseat drivers. This is just shit driving in general.
This isn't to backseat drivers, no. This is just drivers that generally have an IQ that starts with a decimal point. The kind of people that clap when a plane lands.
It's a disease.
You know, that kind of stupidity. You know, because those kind of people. But what are you doing?
So what happened, Hen?
So I was on the M2, which is, for those who don't know what the M2 is, it's a motorway. And about 300 to 350 yards before a service station, i.e. somewhere that you could pull in and, let's say, have a discussion about something, the traffic all of a sudden just come to a complete halt. And I thought, oh, okay, it is 5 o'clock. It's the M2. It's up to its usual tricks. I'm probably going to be stuck in traffic for a bit. Fine, whatever. I made that decision to leave Essex around that time and get to the M2 around that time. Okay, my bad. Traffic starts moving over. I was in the fast lane correctly for once, not just sitting in the outside lane when it's empty because I'm a fucking moron. And all the traffic started moving over one by one. To reveal, it was an E46 3 Series BMW convertible, so not even the correct one. And
did he have a Bluetooth headset?
No, it was actually a lady, and that's no reflection on women drivers. There are some incredible ones out there, but this one was not one of them. She had tapped a Kia, modern Kia. I don't know what it was. It was something dreadful and boring, and it tapped it very lightly, pushed the bumper in very, very slightly. It obviously come out on the rebound, and there's a bit of a stress crack there. No biggie. Probably cost a couple of £100 to get sorted out by a good paint man. So instead of acknowledging the situation and saying, like, follow me or something and pulling into a safe space, they decided to settle this accident in the outside lane of the M2 at rush hour, and occasionally actually walking around the passenger side of the car, so into the path of an active lane of a motorway.
Muppets.
To walk around the car and point out all the damage.
Get the bus.
Literally, get the bus. Because you should not be on the fucking road if that's what you think is a sensible and rational way to deal with a situation.
Wow, so
like
in
that.
rush hour, they literally stopped the traffic in
It
the
was
fast
rush
lane.
hour, yeah.
But because they had a little tap.
Because they had a little tap. Now, I can understand if it was a sort of a high impact speed, because on modern cars, if you crash into something hard enough, there's like a fuel pump relay that like sort of trips out and shuts off the fuel supply. So it limits the chance of there being a fire or anything like that, as if we all live in a Michael Bay movie. Obviously, we know that doesn't happen, but just to satisfy people with clipboards and stuff like that, we'll put that safety feature in. But this wasn't a speed high enough to trigger that event. These cars, well, one of them was still running. The Kia was still running. So that could at least drive off. The BMW was too old to have that feature. That was still running. Pull into the service station, sort it out there. Not in a fucking motorway.
No, and
Fuck off!
And presumably because they were, this was all happening in the fast lane, so the traffic wombles felt the need to come down, close the motorway for everybody.
There was none there.
Oh.
This was obviously a
This
fresh
is just when it
incident.
happened.
Oh.
So otherwise, I would have got home a lot later because they would have shut the entire M2 off.
Yeah.
There would have been probably air ambulance. There would have been a fire engine cutting the roof off the car. Even though the BMW's convertible, they would have put the roof up, then cut it off, and rushed everyone to hospital, and then everything would have been sorted. But no, they decided to settle this argument in the outside lane of a motorway in rush hour rather than go 300 yards down the road and do it there.
Interesting decision. You have to wonder what goes through people's heads at that point. But okay,
Exactly. I can imagine it's probably breathe in, breathe out. breathe in.
And amazingly,
breathe out.
these people got dressed in the morning as well, which is...
They got dressed.
They got dressed and like actually are like human beings, adult human beings that actually like do stuff.
Yeah, potentially even allowed to procreate as well, which is a
God,
incredibly fucking worrying thing.
Right, well, on that note, I think we have probably run out of time today. Thank you very much for putting up with these two arguing, and maybe you've learnt a few new swear words today as well. I certainly have. Yes, so thank you very much for listening or watching to Flat in Fifth. If you have enjoyed it, please do give us a subscribe, a comment, a like. We'd love to grow this channel as much as we will. We've got so much ideas for content, including some short content, smaller content as well. We've got some stuff we'd like to do out in the field as well. If you would like to support the channel, there are links available. I'll put a link in the description below. You can give us a small donation to the channel. Just helps us get some better equipment.
We can't keep nicking Harry's equipment.
We can't keep nicking Harry's equipment, although we will. But yeah, we can't really. But yeah, if you're enjoying what you're doing, please do help us grow this channel. That would be marvelous. So for me, it's good night. It's good night from my beret, and
night from me, Henry.
And good night from me, Max. And good night from Jeff, of course, as well.
Yeah, Jeff. Oh, where is he?
Who knows?
Who knows?
I don't know.
There he goes.
When we went out... Oh, no, he's running naked across the garden.
Why is he in the digger?
Oh, God, he's in a digger.
Why is he... Oh, shit. Get the keys.
Sorry, Hobbs.
Get the keys. Get the keys. Get the keys.
Fuck.